very fresh good morning to all my dear students. I hope you are keeping yourself healthy, so stay at home and keep yourself healthy. Now, in the previous classes, we have already studied that how these atoms are existing in the form of molecules. But now, today we are going to learn something more about atoms. How these atoms are existing as an ion. But before understanding the formation of ions, we should know about the various particles which are present in an atom. An atom contains three major particles: electrons, protons and neutrons. We already know that each electron has a negative charge and each proton has a positive charge. But when we talk about neutron, we know that it has no electric charge. It's a neutral subparticle. Every atom normally contains an equal number of negative electrons and positive protons, which balance the charges in an atom and makes an atom electrically neutral. But if one or more electrons are either removed from an atom or added to the atom, then what will happen to an atom? Let's understand the answer for this question. If number of electrons are either removed or added to the atom, then the atom has either less number of electrons than normal or more number of electrons than normal. Or we can say that overall it gets an electric charge. So we can say that the atom becomes an ion. Yes. In today's topic, we will be learning about ions, how these ions are formed. Mainly when atom losing or gaining some electrons in order to achieve stability, then we can say that atom becomes an ion. It is the main difference between an atom and ion. Atom is an electrically neutral particle, but on the other hand, the ion is a charged particle. But again, one question arises: why do these atoms lose or gain electrons? And the answer for this question is octet rule. Yes, we have already studied in our 8th class that to attain the stability, it is necessary that an atom should have 8 electrons in its outermost shell. So, we can say that atoms form ions in order to be a stable one or to satisfy octet rule. That means an atom should have 8 electrons in its outermost shell. And these electrons which are present in its outermost shell are known as valence electrons. If we talk about metals, they always lose the electrons to attain the stability. And on the other hand, non-metals always gains the electrons in order to attain stability and to satisfy octet rule. Now let's understand the formation of these ions one by one. Mainly we are having two types of ions, positive and negative. Positive ions are known as cations, which are formed by losing the electrons. And anions are the negative charge particles which are formed by gaining the electrons. Now, we know that if we give something to a needy one, it shows our positive character. In the same way, when an atom loses its electrons, it becomes a positive ion. And the name of this positive ion is cation. As we know that cation is formed by the removal of electrons from an atom. Therefore, we can say that a cation contains less number of electrons than a normal atom. We also know that a normal atom, or we can say that a neutral atom, contains equal number of protons and electrons. Therefore, a cation contains less electrons as compared to protons. The ions of all the metal elements are cations, as these atoms always loses electrons. Let's understand with the help of an example. Here I have shown you the example of sodium. As we know that the atomic number of sodium is 11. So, the number of electrons are also 11. It means we need to arrange 11 electrons in the given shells, as you can see in the diagram. As we fill the electrons in all these shells, the last shell will get only one electron. And for sodium, it is easy to lose this one electron instead of gaining 7 electrons more. So, the sodium atom will release this one extra electron and form cation. Now, when sodium atom loses electron to form a cation, then in this cation, the number of electrons become less than the number of protons. In other words, we can say that a cation has more protons than electrons. Due to more protons than electrons, a cation has more positive charge on it. So, we can say that a cation is having positive charge. Now, let's understand the formation of anion, that is, a negative charge particles. An anion is formed by the gain of one or more electrons by the atom. Since anion is formed by the addition of electrons to an atom, therefore we can say that it contains more electrons than a normal atom. Let's understand the formation of anion through upcoming example. In this example, I have shown you the electronic configuration of chlorine. As we know that in chlorine, total 17 electrons we have to arrange in the energy shells. So, in total, the last energy shell will get 7 electrons. So, what chlorine atom will do? For sure, it is not easy for chlorine atom to lose 7 electrons, but instead it will gain 1 electron and make its outermost shell complete with 8 electrons. Now, here we know that an anion is formed by gaining the electrons. So, the number of electron is more as compared to protons. Hence, an anion has a negative charge on it. Let's understand the concept of ions through upcoming video.
Let's have a look at an important concept called the electronic configuration. Now, what could this be? As the name suggests, electronic refers to electrons, and the term configuration literally means arrangement or layout. That means the electronic configuration of an atom is the arrangement of its electrons in the shells. As simple as that. There are two facts that we need to recall. First, the innermost shell, or the first shell rather, has a maximum of 2 electrons that can be accommodated in it. Secondly, from the second shell onwards, whichever is the outermost shell, it can accommodate a maximum of 8 electrons. In simpler words, outermost orbital can contain 8 electrons at max. This state is called as the octet state. The term originates from the Greek word octa, which means 8. The octet state is considered to be a stable state. Let's understand this in a simple way. You love chocolates. Now, if there is a bag of chocolates kept open before you, how many will you try to grab at once? Needless to say, you will try and take as many chocolates as your hand can accommodate. That means the maximum number of chocolates is what anybody will wish for. Now, what have chocolates got to do with electronic configuration and valency? Let's understand the relation. As a part of human tendency, we will try and grab the maximum number of chocolates using our hands. Similarly, the atoms would want to have maximum number of electrons their shells can accommodate. That means if it's just one shell like in the case of hydrogen or helium, then the atoms would want to have 2 electrons in it. That will be the outermost shell of the atom. This will help them achieve a stable state. Similarly, for all the other atoms having more than one shell, it's obvious that they will wish to have 8 electrons in their outermost shell. And why is this so? That's correct. It's because the outermost orbital of any atom can accommodate a maximum of 8 electrons in it. That is the reason why all the atoms of various elements are in a constant struggle of attaining 8 electrons in their last shell. That is, achieving the octet state. However, it's not possible for all to have 8 electrons in the outermost shell. Imagine the case of oxygen. It has a total of 8 electrons. So can we just have one orbital around the nucleus containing all the 8 electrons? Absolutely not. In fact, according to the rule, we have to fill 2 electrons in the first and the remaining 6 electrons in the second shell. Because the capacity of the first shell is to accommodate a maximum of 2 electrons. So can we say that the electronic configuration of oxygen is 2, 6? That's right. But now this indicates that oxygen does not have 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So how will it achieve its stable state? What can be done to have 8 electrons in the outermost orbital? Yes, oxygen can borrow or share electrons with atoms of other elements, right? Absolutely. This is how chemical reactions happen.
I hope you have understood the concept of formation of ions. But in detail, we'll study about these ions in chapter number 4. So, go through the video very carefully, and for further query, please ask during online session. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.